We're on.
You win some, you lose more.
Thursday night footy is here, and the AFL Today Show, brought to you by Tab, is here for all of your round one needs. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. I'll start off with the man over there. He's got the bell today.
Let's go!
Liam Mullaly. He's more pickle than man, Liam
I
Mullaly.
love pickles. I love pickles.
How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. How you going, my fellow skipper eye over there?
Very, very well. And we've also got Marcus Bazzano in the middle. Essendon are playing tomorrow night. Big game. We're all going to it tomorrow, so he's up and about.
Yeah, me and Leo are going to be... We're going to be scrapping.
We're going to be fighting.
Hawks versus Essendon.
Kissing.
Yep.
Why?
Because it's going to be a draw.
Because we love each other, that's why.
It's going to be a draw. There we go. That's a big call. Obviously, this is going to be the Thursday night preview show brought to you by Tab's AFL Miss by One. If your disposals leg misses by one, Tab will still pay you out as a winner. Download the Tab app today. What are you really gambling with? All right, another great show. As always, lads. We used to have great shows every Thursday night. This is only the second one, but we're building. We're great, but they're great shows. You were going to say that. We're going to actually have From the Desk with Jess. So Jess Robinson, journalist, is jumping on, talking all things debutants, round one debutants, some big calls, rising star calls and things like that. I'm going to go through some AFL news, all the round one matchups with tips, odds, stats, debates, everything. There's going to be a few tangents that these lads will go on, I'm sure.
No.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you for your honesty. There's going to be some best bets, big calls from the weekend from each of us, and then what to keep an eye on ahead for round one. All right, subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Subscribe and hit the notification. It said please in the thing.
Please do it.
We should read out, like on the cricket show, how many we've got. And just
That's what I was going to say.
Keep track. Yeah.
I think we should. So we're close to 4K already.
3.99.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Let's get to 4K by the end of the show.
All right, we'll have a look at that at the end of the show.
We'll have a look.
There we go. We will have a look.
Yeah. Of course we'll have a look.
I feel sorry for Joe.
Of course we'll have a look.
What are you talking about? And then follow AFL Today AU across all the socials, and on Facebook it's Aussie Rules Today. Lots of stuff going up on there. Chuck my Supercoach team up on there. So
No, that
roast
was on
away.
TikTok.
On TikTok, that's what I was about to say.
Free win if you ever come up against Stats Guy.
Yes.
No.
Has no idea what he's doing.
No way. It's Tom Lynch, underrated pick. There we go. And of course, get around this on all the Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any other podcast platform. We'll be on there. All right, that's the intro done, lads. News ticker, quick news ticker, because there's not as much news at the moment. First one. The heat policy is in effect for Saturday's games. I think it's going to be 37 in some parts of the country. So there's going to be longer breaks, more hydration. And I saw people in the comments, degenerates, commenting on the
Degenerates?
Yeah, they are degenerates.
Okay,
commenting on the AFL post. Oh, this has gone too far. This is too woke.
It's woke. It is woke.
No, but like it's fair enough.
No,
I don't want
it is
an
fair.
AFL player to die on the field.
Can we get a heat policy in this studio? Because for those who don't know, it is so hot in this studio, like
Not
90%
right now.
of the time. Might be by the end of the show, though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. On Sunday
We
night.
get a bit sweaty in here.
Yeah, just how we like it.
Sitting in the middle in between these two hot studs. So I feel the brunt of it.
There we go. I just brought up the heat policy, and now we've talked about
But
this.
yeah, I think it's fair.
It's
And
good.
We've got to look after the players.
Exactly.
The purebred.
They're more
footballers.
hydrated, the better they play,
Yeah.
better footy.
Yeah, like
As
people are
long as it doesn't
complaining.
eat
That's
up in
some
the
quick
time.
math right there.
Yeah, well, doesn't it? It just
yeah.
eats up into a little bit of time into the breaks, and that's it. So that's
That's
all
all right.
good.
Just more time to get some spicy kombuchas.
Exactly.
Nuggets of knowledge right there.
Nuggets of knowledge.
Oh, I could go for some nuggets.
I could go for some knowledge. All right. Next one in the news is Braden Maynard was involved in a car crash. So that was obviously not good at all, but he is okay and everyone involved is okay. He's still expected to play Saturday. Now, I feel like we don't like Braden Maynard, but of course we don't want him to be involved in a car crash.
No.
Because there was a few comments on AFL pages that were just laying into him. So they turned off the comments. Just no matter who you are, he's just a player on another team. You don't need to do that. So glad that he's okay. I'm surprised he's playing though, because apparently it was a very full-on car crash. But
Yeah, jeez. I'm surprised he's playing because he's overrated. And shit.
oh, he just been in a car crash.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe it's a sympathy selection.
I think he's cult hero selection / like brings the team together.
No, it is obviously sad he was in a car accident, so hopefully he's all right.
And we got
He's
to
fine.
have our prayers out for Lockie Hunter as well, who was on the other side of that car crash.
Move on. Move on.
Anyway, Marcus, Jesus, he's doing that every single show. That's it for the news. I'm calling it for news ticker. Right now, though, a very exciting segment with Jess Robinson from the desk with Jess. AFL Today here with a brand new segment. We've got From the Desk with Jess. So we got Jess here. Thanks for jumping on, Jess, for this Thursday night.
Thanks, guys. I'm beyond excited for round one.
Yes. Oh, it's actually starting the official season. Last week didn't really count, so we can actually have some footy this week.
the hype is well and truly here now. I feel.
Absolutely. We've got Leo as well. He's always
Yeah, I'm just here. I'm here to vibe it, you know, just sort of like the tree in like a room. Like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
You're
Wearing
always
green.
here. You're wearing green. You're ready to go. So today we're going to go through the debutants with Jess, with Leo, of round one, because there's going to be a lot of debutants. First one we'll quickly touch on because I think as this is going out, the game may be on, but we're going to touch with Richmond. So they've got 3 debutants already announced midweek. We've got Sammy Lawler, we've got Trainer, and we've got Armstrong. Are we excited for those, Jess?
We are absolutely excited for those. Sammy, number 1 pick. He,
Absolutely.
you know, had a concussion, hairline fracture, only sustained in Feb. He's overcome all of that. This kid's exciting. Feel like this is what Richmond fans need. But then they've also got a couple of key position players jumping in, you know. First game in, it doesn't get much bigger than MCG against Carlton.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they must be like crapping their dacks a little bit.
Yeah, a little
surely.
bit, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Sammy Lawler seems like a confident lad, so I don't reckon he would be. But
Yep.
Trainer and Armstrong, like, I don't know. It'll be nervous on the big stage. What, 70,000, 80,000?
Yeah, there'll be a lot of people. I still think there'll be a bit of nerves for Sammy Lawler because I know he sort of acts like that. He sort of struts his stuff around a bit, but first game of the season.
What's the bet? His like first goal will be like a fend-off snap, and it's just like an ode to Dusty. And Richmond fans are just like,
Oh.
yes,
They would-
this is our boy. This is our boy.
They would love that. Talking about their boy, Carlton. So you got the great Camperelli. They've got the Camperelli twins now. The first twin to make his debut is Lucas Camperelli. Very exciting for Carlton fans, Jess.
Absolutely. It's impressive in the midfield. It's going to be great to see, you know, how he works with the likes of Cripps and Walsh and just how all that dynamic plays out. It's going to be a big game.
Yeah.
A lot of eyes, and I think these 4 players are going to be the story.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's interesting because I reckon we'd be talking about Jagger Smith in this position instead of Camperelli.
I know.
See how he goes. I'm not too sure about him. Like, I'll be honest, don't know too much about him. But if he can just fill a role, he's got the stars around him. He could sort of feed off their energy a little bit and hopefully kick a goal. We'll see.
Yeah. And then the last debutant, well, sort of in the Carlton outfit, is Nick Haynes. I don't know how old he is
Debutant.
now. I can't believe he's still
But he's
playing.
in his 30s, I reckon.
But he's been a solid player at the Blues. At GWS, and I think he can do a job at the Blues. What do you guys think?
Well, over 200 games of experience, that's going to, you know, hold steady
Yeah.
in the Blues lineup.
I don't know. I feel like Carlton is still missing that sort of second key defender, and he's like a third almost. I don't know. We'll see how he goes. I think he'll do all right, but yeah, I still think Carlton's back line is a bit susceptible.
He's got great hair too. I don't know if he's still got the top knot. I haven't seen him around as much. Has he still got the big, the flowing hair? He used to have the flowing hair.
I think so.
He does.
Yeah.
So that just adds a
It's
bit
weird.
of
I
an
don't
extra.
reckon Carlton have many blondes on their team.
No.
Yeah.
No, the opposite to Geelong.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I was actually speaking to TDK a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, you were. I saw that.
So, you know, we spoke about Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
He said these guys, they're training like as good as you can imagine from first year players. And he was hoping that one of the Camperelli boys would be coming in early.
Perfect.
So, you know, he got his wish. But I think Carlton fans, like, what's the pass mark for the Blues? Because
Ooh, good
they're
question.
going to be expected to win, obviously, like over what Richmond's been
They have
producing.
to smash him.
They have to
Yeah.
smash them, but I think we just talked about on our Wednesday show, Midweek Madness, that I don't think they have that in them. For the first game of the season, they often are very close games.
Yeah.
Last year was 5 points. So, but yeah, what do you think? What's the pass mark? They have to smash them.
Well, yeah, I mean, considering the preseason they've had with all the
Mm.
injuries, like that's why I was kind of putting it to you guys. Like, is it a 20-point win? Is it just getting the job done just for round one, just to kind of like?
I think it's 40 plus.
I think it's 60 plus.
60 plus.
Oh.
I still think with their injuries, they've got a lot of talent there. And Richmond, everyone's expecting them to have a very, very down season. So I just feel like if they want to be top 6, top 4, and Richmond are projected bottom 2, they have to make a statement. 60 plus, they got to.
Yeah.
Do I think they will? No.
No, but they
Yeah.
But they got to.
to prove that they're up in that top tier. So I agree with that one. Touching on more debutants, we've got North. We've got a lot of debutants for North, but first gamer, Finn O'Sullivan. Foss is what the people are calling him down at
I'm going to just
Arden
leave
Street.
this one to you guys.
Yeah, we got
to
the
talk
North
about.
fans here. Jess, you're excited for Foss
I'm
this season.
excited. We're repping our North blue.
Yes.
The both of us.
I'm wearing blue as well.
Yeah.
very nice.
Finn O'Sullivan, number 2 pick. So we've got number 1 and 2 picks on
show.
display this weekend, which is so
Great.
exciting. But against the Dogs, I'm really excited to see how Finn works with, again, similar to what I said before about Lucas, but like how does Finn fit in with the likes of Simkin and LDU and, you know, it's going to be good to watch.
Yeah, it's a good midfield. Like, you can say what you want about North. Not the best forward line, not the best back line. The midfield can win you some games, at least a
Hey,
couple of games.
Don't come for our forward line.
No,
We've
it's
got
not.
Jack Darling now.
Oh, no, I'm not sold
Nick
on him just yet.
Larkey's kicking 60 plus this year at least.
Yeah,
Let's
Eddie
let you know.
Ford,
Eddie Ford.
Cooper Harvey,
Nah, Paul Curtis is my man.
Constanti as well.
You know,
Alex
yes.
is perked up, ex-Sydney player.
Absolutely. And then we've got some of the more experienced ones coming in that you touched on. Jack Darling, Luke Parker, Caleb Daniel. What do we think, guys? Who's going to make the biggest impact of that experienced player?
Oof. I really do think that Caleb Daniel is going to
Yeah.
make so much
Resurgence.
difference to the defensive line. I feel like we've seen it in some of the practice matches
Mm-hmm.
as well. He just knows what he's doing, and that's what they need.
Yeah, especially a guy that can hit a target almost every time he kicks it, which is what North is lacking in general, other than Sheasel or McKercher or things like that.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Hitting a target.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be nice. What do you reckon, Liam?
I think Luke Parker, I don't think he'll have the stat line of like most players.
Or
Like,
in the
I think
past,
I think
yeah.
it'll be below average stat line, but he's sort of that experience in the front
Calm head.
half and the mid. Like you can put him into the midfield and just say, we need you to just stop the momentum for a bit.
Yeah, I
we need
like
your
that.
experienced head. And he might not get a disposal, but he might get an important tackle here and there. And
Absolutely.
just be an important voice out on the ground. And also just give you a bit of mongrel. Like, I feel like North, they get picked on easily, and Parker can just stand up and
Yeah.
give it back.
I
you
agree.
know?
Yeah,
I
that'd be
agree
nice.
with that
That'd be
too.
nice. Bit of Shimbo to spirit maybe from
Oh,
Luke Parker.
jeez.
I had to bring that
Sure.
one in there. Now touching on Essendon, we've got, I think, the most exciting player from the draft, Isaac Kako. He was lighting up preseason with 4 goals. Do we think he can bring that sort of form into the season? Like it's a big ask, but
No.
I think at least a couple of goals a game, or everything.
I feel
2
like
goals a game.
he's going to be one of those guys that delivers on a big stage.
Yeah,
Yep.
He looked more than comfortable in
absolutely.
that community
Against
series.
Geelong, yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's no easy task as well, coming
Yeah.
up against the Cats, but he looks comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he'll be right.
I think we've talked about Hawthorn's backline. It's quite strong, but I reckon there were a few times on Friday against the Swans where the pace of Papley sort of shocked them a little bit. And I think Kako's got that explosiveness that could maybe just rattle me as a Hawks fan. So we'll see. Hopefully he stays quiet for my sake.
There's a few guys in the draft where you go, they're not going to be nervous. Like maybe he just shows it on the outside, but I don't see Kako being nervous at all. Like I know that was only a preseason game, but Geelong are very experienced, got really good players.
Yeah.
Obviously Hawthorn's going to be really good as well, but he just doesn't look nervous. at all.
Draftees are becoming more like that, I reckon.
Yeah.
They just don't really care. Like you look at Nick Watson last year.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
Even
Like,
Sheasel when he first started.
Cheezel doesn't care. He's a switched on young
Yeah,
individual.
he's a
Yeah.
mini Bond when I even listened to him on the radio and stuff.
Did you see the clip of him in a
the-
podcast on
yes.
TikTok and talking about his diet?
Yes,
No, I haven't seen that one.
He's incredibly on it. Like
Very switched
he could
on.
play till 50. What was his resting heart rate? It was like 30.
Oh, I saw that.
Oh,
I saw that.
And
Yes.
I mean, my key thing that I took away from that was the avocado.
What was
He's
that
moved
again?
his avocado from breakfast to lunch, I think.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
go.
yeah.
That's
what
a
it
big
was.
one.
And
The fats are moving from.
Okay.
He
breakfast
only
lunch.
eats whole foods, right? That's what
Yeah.
he said. And he doesn't let anyone else cook for him. So when it's lunch at the club, he makes all.
He's
all
in
of
Sydney's
his
little
food.
corner on his own.
Yeah, he will play till 50. He'll do it.
I like that. We somehow got
Big
North
call.
back into North Chatham. Well, already.
Yeah, how do we do that,
I love it.
actually?
I love it. And then the last one that we wanted to touch on was Brisbane. Obviously, Ashcroft is a famous name already, and they're saying he's going to be better than all of them. Levi Ashcroft, the youngest Ashcroft, is going to make his debut most likely this weekend.
Yeah.
Are we excited for that as well?
Yeah, I think that'll be exciting for him. Him and Will, just like the connection.
Oh,
Because they would have played together all growing up for Sandy
Mhm.
and at their junior club. Yeah, it's going to be exciting to watch. And how do they just keep getting stronger?
I know. Brisbane,
I
yeah.
know.
I'm sick of him. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Levi?
Well, is this going to be a Josh and Nick Dacos dynamic in
Oh,
Brisbane?
good call.
Oh, I hope not. We don't need more of those.
No, we do. We need more, like the Camperelli brothers, the twins. Like we need more brothers going head to head. I like it.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great storyline for Brisbane. I mean, doesn't really get much better.
No.
Yeah.
So let's hope he makes his debut.
Yep.
And it's looking likely.
Yeah, he will. He
Yeah,
will.
so-
Unless something happens, but he's an absolute freak, so he should. Yeah. All right, that's all the debutants we wanted to go through. We're going to finish off with some big questions here. Out of all the players we just read out, who do we think is going to make the best debut this weekend? We'll start with you, Jess.
Well, my heart says Finn O'Sullivan.
Yeah.
It really does. But I just feel like maybe it's Isaac.
Yeah, Kako.
I think
like
it's
that.
Kako.
Yeah.
I'm also just very excited about his story, like his family history,
Mm-hmm.
like traveling from Iraq through a few countries to get to Australia, and then footy is
call,
not
yeah.
like footy. Wasn't the first kind of sport to come to mind
Yep.
for them, but he's
He's killing
hit
it
the
now.
system, and and I just like the story. So
it's a good
I
story,
think
and-
it's going to have a great game.
Yeah,
I love that.
I was gonna say Kako, but I'll go a bit different.
Yeah.
I reckon Lawler.
Yeah.
I don't know. O'Sullivan to me is a bit of an easy answer. I think he's going to dominate.
Mhm.
I just think that Lawler might just, I don't know, 20 disposals, 2 or 3 goals, and just give Richmond fans a bit of peace of mind going into what could be a long season.
Yeah, I
Well,
like
they
that.
need someone to stand up, and they need an exciting factor.
They
so,
do.
You know,
And
Desperately.
He has a lot of room to get a few touches.
Well, that's it.
In a bad team, so
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go the easy answer, Levi Ashcroft. I think he's just because we're saying best debut. He is the most ready player in the draft. I think he's got the big body, he can barge out of the contest. And Brisbane, you're gonna get a lot of the ball just from Lockie Neal handballing it to you, or he's even his brother. So I'm gonna go Levi Ashcroft as the best debut. Last thing we're gonna say is who will be the rising star this year. We're doing big calls on this segment with Jess today. Who do you reckon will be the rising star out of all the rookies this season, Jess?
well, we had about 3 minutes notice for this question.
We did, yes.
So,
yes. That's usual with this stuff.
Look, it could be. Oh, I'm really torn here, but it
That's
could
right.
be Lucas Camporelli. It could be just like a left of field.
I like that.
I did not
Like,
expect that
I know,
answer.
but
He
it-
did well in pre-season, yeah.
It could just be someone completely left of field, and I'd be very excited about that.
Carlton fans will absolutely love that. What do you?
No, why did I say that?
I like it.
I really love the idea of a left of field one because it's just like a pick 50 something.
It has happened in the past.
Yeah, like giving it to all the high picks. But I think Levi Ashcroft, for the
Yeah.
reasons you said, Stats Guy, I think he'll be the most consistent player. I feel like the others might drop out of form here or there, like Kako and Lawler, a bit more explosive players. Ashcroft will just be a consistent professional.
If Kako kicks, I don't know, above 35 goals,
That's
is that a
pretty
lot?
good. Yeah,
That
35
seems like
for
a
a
lot.
first
I
rookie.
think then
Yeah,
he's a
first-year
lock
rookie.
for rising star, but that's a big ask, especially when we're
He
not.
could do it. Like when you look at their forward line, like he's the main small guy
Yeah.
down there. Like,
But
you
if he
never know.
kicks that many goals, then I reckon he'll get it. But I'm leaning towards Levi Ashcroft as well. All right, that's a wrap for From the Desk with Jess. Thank you very much, Jess, jumping on.
Thanks, guys. Excited to see what comes in round 1.
Let's get back to the usual show. All right, that was From the Desk with Jess. Awesome chat there, Leo, with Jess Robinson. That was good fun.
I rated it.
Yeah, it was really good.
I like that. It rhymes.
Yeah, it does. It does. All right, this is the biggest part of the show, the round 1 game previews. The real footy's back. We've got 9 games. Everything is the stars have aligned. We're ready to go. Friday night.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
It is Leo versus Marcus, or as most people call it, Hawthorn versus Essendon, lads. Friday night at the MCG. We're actually all going to be there. I'll be cheering on the Hawks because I hate the Bombers. But you'll be fired up for the Bombers.
That's the plan.
That's
They
the plan.
could also make
That's the
me very
plan.
depressed,
That is true.
as in typical Essendon fashion.
That's all right. All right. We'll start in the order that I'm looking at it here. We'll start with Hawthorn.
Okay.
You can talk through the ins and outs. So we're going to go ins and outs, then talk through the game after that.
Wow, this is a big out. Not really. A little bit. James Warple's out.
Oh, that's a decent. He played well. He played well.
He's underrated. Josh Ward comes in, so it's really his time to just make his mark on the team.
He has a big head.
That's a great observation from a fellow big head.
Exactly. We I was going to say that, but yeah.
But yeah, Hawthorn's team, pretty stock standard, just putting players where they want to on this team sheet. Sicily's on a wing again. I'm sure that would amuse you, Stats Guy. You love it when they do that, don't
No,
you?
I don't mind Sissy on a wing. Put him anywhere. He's a good man.
But the team looks pretty strong. I didn't expect too many other changes. I think the MCG ground will help us. We love a bigger ground. We play well on the G. So, yeah, I'm happy with the team.
Very nice. Should Nick Watson have been dropped or he's all
Yeah.
No, that's all
That's
good.
a great question, you know.
That
Keep
is.
bringing that insight.
Yeah, thank you. All day, every day. What about Essendon for you, Marcus?
Well, obviously, we haven't seen, for last week at least, Hawthorn got to run out on the park. So, new faces, Isaac Kako. Everyone wants to see that. Kako and Caddy in the forward line. Jackson Pryor, debut for the club. His
looks solid.
dad played for Essendon as well,
Oh.
but he didn't play enough games to be eligible for father-son. So, yeah, he's going to line up in defence. And on the bench, one of Sardis, Hobbs, Shield, Gresham or Dersma will be the sub.
Or hope
Durs-
not
oh, not
Sardis.
It'll either be Hobbs or Dersma in my
Are you
opinion.
confident in that? It won't be Sardis?
I'm confident.
Because we need Sardis for
I'm confident.
Supercoach.
Yeah,
need him.
Sardis does look good.
We need
And
him.
Supercoach users Sard Al Hooley, I think we know for a while though, he's not playing.
Not playing.
As
Yeah,
a
he
rookie.
didn't play in
Defender.
the last preseason game, I don't believe. So that's right. Anyway, talking through the game a little bit. Bogey team alert. There's a few bogey teams this weekend. The Bombers have beaten the Hawks in 6 of the last 7 meetings by an average of 27 points as well, Leo. How do you feel about that one? I know
And
the
the-
Hawks look like a better team.
And the
but-
7th one was just by a point as well, I
Yeah.
think. So it was
So
a
that-
close game.
Yeah, wasn't that Tim O'Brien kicked the winning goal?
What the hell it
Yeah.
was?
Harry Jones'
It was.
debut, I think, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Where
I
he
reckon.
just sprayed it. He kicked like 0-5 or something.
Yeah.
That really surprised me though, because the Bombers just love playing the Hawks.
Yeah, they do, and it annoys me. It's just I hate Essendon.
Hawthorn are different now, boys.
They are a lot different.
Hawthorn are a lot different.
Hawthorn as well, they've won their last 8 matches in Melbourne, so that includes a few the finals. You've obviously got a lot of matches at the MCG and things like that. So they're pretty happy to play at the G. And yeah, any other talking points on this one, lads? I think it'll be a good game. Big crowd. I think it'll be a bigger crowd than tonight's game.
Agreed.
Do you guys agree with that one?
Yep.
Because Richmond fans aren't going to want to watch a 100-point loss.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Our sponsors are Tab, so I'm going to get through some of the odds here today. So we've got Hawthorn $1.30 for their head-to-head heavy favourites pretty much in this one. Essendon are $3.50. I think that's well deserved after the Hawks. I think they could have won by even more against Sydney. They were absolutely awesome. My best bet. Everyone's talking about this man. He dominated in preseason, and now he's giving us some good odds with Tab. Isaac Kako, 2+ goals at $2.40. I really, really like. Obviously, we haven't got the form other than the preseason. He got 4 goals against Geelong in the preseason. And then the Hawks, I think they've got a lot of big guys, but the Smalls, I'm not as confident on their small defenders. So I think Kako can at least get 2 goals. I reckon he could even get 3. So have a look at that on Tab, but 2+ is $2.40. All right, lads, what do you reckon about any of that? And then we'll get into our tips and margin as well.
Yeah, I'm so excited by the small forwards, just generally in this game. Like, we'll get to my big call later.
Yes.
But they will have an impact tomorrow night.
Oh, is that the 4-minute mark?
That is the 4-minute mark.
There we go. So we'll get into our tips. I'm going Hawks by 25 points. What do you got, Leo?
I'll go Hawks by 21.
Hawks by 37.
37?
37.
You're not confident in your Bombers?
No, unfortunately not. And I think, Hawthorn look pretty good, and they're going to be very good throughout the season. So
lovely. I think we timed that pretty well.
Yeah, bit to be desired.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
We can always improve.
We can improve. We're going to be improving every single show. Saturday now, so we've gone through the Friday night game.
Super Saturday.
Super Saturday, we'll just call it that. Why not? Geelong versus Fremantle is the first Saturday game at 1:20 at GMHBA Stadium. You want to go through the teams, lads?
Yes. Who are you going to assign us?
I'll go Geelong to Marcus.
Yes.
Is that all right for you?
I wonder why.
It's all eyes are on this man.
Yes.
Throughout the preseason, because actually maybe not, because he missed the games through to injury. It could have been a bit of a doubt to feature in this one, but he does feature. Bailey Smith will make his debut for Geelong.
Yes.
Does he rock a long sleeve? Long sleeve Bailey
No,
Smith.
it's 37.
Yeah,
He
you
could
know
die.
what?
He
Brad
could die.
Closewood. Brad Closewood.
Will he rock the
find out.
headband? I like him.
Yes,
I
in
think
a
he
headband.
will.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, because it'll be sweaty. It's a hot day, you said.
Will Cotton On make headbands?
Oh, 100%.
Just for him?
Yep.
Maybe.
Oh.
But yeah, he's the big in for the Cats.
He's the big in for the Cats.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to need a lot of effort from Shannon Neal this season with
Yes.
Tom Hawkins' retirement. So, be interesting to see how he goes, because I think Geelong fans have some high expectations from him.
Yep. And I reckon, Maxi Holmes. You got just the depth is crazy. You got Lawson Humphries, Max Holmes. I think in every sort of level of their defense mid forward, they just got depth everywhere. So I think they're going to be really good, the Cats. What about the other side, Leo? Freo? Everyone's talking up Freo.
Let's talk about Fremantle.
Oh my God.
Let's do it. How good? Yeah, I like this team. Murphy Reid making his debut.
Yep.
Shai Bolton is not in this lineup, I
Ooh,
believe. I think Walters also misses as well. They both didn't make the flight. Reedy and Ruck as well, if you want him on your super coach. Be interesting. The big man, though, Josh Tracy up forward. I think you put this stat in Stats Guy, and I'm going to steal it from you.
You can
15
say.
goals in the last 5 games of last season. He's an absolute man mammoth, and I think he can take a bit of control, because the Cats' defense is very strong as a system, but Connor O'Sullivan at the back line, but he's a bit raw. They don't have that height, I don't think, and I think Tracy could maybe exploit it.
Who kicks more goals this season, Tracy or Jaimis?
Tracy.
Tracy, yeah. I think Jai misses
Tracy.
Tracy McBean.
Yeah, classic.
That's a throwback. No, I think Tracy, because he's going to be the more deeper forward. Amiss sort of plays that centre half forward or high half forward role, I reckon. Whereas Tracy's just play bear in the square a bit. Just get a few marks
Say
down there.
bear in the square.
Yeah, have you not heard bear in the square?
I've heard of it, but I don't know what from.
Probably Jason Dunstall was a bit of bear in the square, or Gary Ablett Sr. sometimes did that, I reckon. He'd just stay in the square and take hangers on people. But yeah, I think they're going to go really well. In terms of the matchup, though, Geelong have won their last 7 season openers at GMHBA, but Freo have beaten them at the Cattery the last 2 times. So I wouldn't say like a full-on bogey team, but not many teams go down to Geelong and beat them down there, but Freo know how to do it.
They do, and I think back in the day when they were on that ridiculous run of wins at GMHBA, it was Fremantle, wasn't it, that broke it?
Yep, it was.
So I know that they know how to play down there.
They're pretty good. Now we're going to have a look at the odds with Tab once again. So you got Geelong, $1.47. This one is a lot closer than the other games. Fremantle at $2.70. That's the head-to-head odds. I've been talking this guy up all preseason. The boys on the show will be loving this. Brian Myers, 20-plus disposals and to kick a goal is my best bet of this game. $3 odds for $3 in odds with Tab. I'm really liking this. He's had 23 and a goal in their last meeting and averaged 21 disposals, 2 goals in the last month of last season. He's been turning it up to another level. He doesn't just get goal assist, this man. He knows how to kick a goal. Don't worry about his funny kicking action. He knows how to finish through the big sticks. 20-plus disposals as well. I think he had a 30-plus disposal game in one of the match sim in preseason as well. So he's in really good form. I'm going all in on Brian Myers. All right, lads. Any other thoughts on this game, Geelong Freo?
The only thoughts that I have is you sleeping with a picture on the roof of your bedroom of Brian Myers.
Nah, that would be scary. I don't know about that.
What are you saying? He's ugly?
Nah, just that would, I don't know.
Takes one to know one.
That is very true. That is very true. Oh, there's the alarm.
Oh my God, let's move on.
Let's wake up.
Let's wake up. We got the alarm. Right, quickly do the tips. So who are you tipping in this one?
I think Geelong by about 10 points. I'm going to go.
Well, you going Geelong?
Going Geelong.
I think
Going Geelong.
Who are you going?
I'm going Fremantle, other end of the stick. Well, Geelong, they're good, but I think this season is the season they have to do something because they missed out last season, obviously. So I'm going to go 18 points.
18, nice. I'm going Freo by 5 points. They've had a lot of close matches at GMHBA. They know how to win down there. I know they're the underdogs, but I think they can get the job done. All right, that's Geelong taking on Fremantle. Next one on Saturday, 4:15 at the SCG is Sydney taking on Brisbane. Obviously, this is the grand final rematch. Are Sydney still scarred? Who's going to be in? Who's going to be out? We'll start off with you, Leo.
Who are you giving me?
Sydney, please.
Oh, I don't want that.
You didn't want Sydney?
Nah, Sydney, they bring in Joel Hamling and Riley Bice. I think Hamling coming
Fried
in.
Bice.
Fried Bice.
Found out from
Bice.
Ollie Foreign. That's a great nickname.
I think Joel Hamling's coming in to shore up the back line a little bit in terms of height. I think, and they want to play McCartan forward, don't they? So that probably plays to that.
Correct. Yep.
Adams and Sheldrick go out, both injured. Oh, no, Sheldrick's an emergency.
What were your thoughts on McCartan forward?
He wasn't very good.
But he's offering the same as what like McDonald and McLean would, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I can move him back.
They made it all the way to the grand
Crash
final with
packs.
some crap forwards, so
Damn.
maybe they don't need him.
Says the North fan.
Yeah, I'm not
Just got
comparing.
Nikolaki, one of the best forwards in the comp, to be fair.
That's about it.
Sydney, their team does look pretty strong, but I don't know if they can hold off Brisbane.
Brisbane look pretty strong.
Yeah, like Sydney's team looks strong, and then you look even on Brisbane. So Brisbane's team, ins and outs.
Brisbane team, we've heard some news.
Yes.
Levi is going to be the sub. He is part of that bench, so
That's a
keep an eye
joke.
out for Supercoach. If you have him, you might want to get rid of him.
Should be a rule. You're not allowed to put debutants as subs. Or
I
subs
know.
shouldn't be a thing
I know.
anyway.
But on the bench is
Yep.
his brother Will, Darcy Fort, Brendan Starchevich, and Callum Archie, who you all won't think would be a sub because they
Imagine
don't
Darcy
have that
Ford as
impact
the sub.
off the bench.
Darcy Ford is the sub.
Oh.
He was a great inclusion into the.
But the Big O gets the feature against Sydney.
Yes, I love
unlike
the
in the
Big
grand
O.
final.
I love him.
So he gets his turn against the Swans this time around. But yeah, very strong. They're always very strong. It'll
Lot
be
of
interesting
depth.
to see how the forward line plays without Big Joey Danaher.
Yeah, as Alex mentioned, he wants to go full hippie this year. We're going all in on Eric Hipwood. He has to kick 3 goals a game to like
And how many behinds?
prove his worth. He's going to kick a lot of behinds, but to prove his worth a bit because Logan Morris.
3 goals a
He
game.
needs to-
Is
Logan's
a
a
lot.
lot.
How many is that? Oh, 50. I'd say 45 plus, 50 plus.
I'd say
maybe.
2 goals a game,
50 plus.
which is just over 2 goals a game.
You want your tall forward kicking at least 2 a game, probably.
Yeah.
And then you got Logan Morris. I really rate Logan Morris for the line, so I think that's actually going to be still a really good forward line, even though Joey Danaher's not in there.
And I'm still waiting to see like Cam Rayner went up a little bit last year, but I'm still waiting for like Zach Bailey. Like everyone's talk, when's he going to be unleashed? And last year everyone thought it was the year, and he just
He's been
hasn't.
having
I
a
think this-
breakout year for the last 5 years.
Yeah, I'm like,
But he's
he just needs
he's
to go
good,
up
though.
that next.
Him and Zerha
Next
like
level.
fighting the battle of like, yeah, we're going to break out this year, and then no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bailey's better than Zerha.
I would 100% want Zach Bailey over Cam Zerha.
Yes.
At
Cam
least-
Zerha.
Cam Zerha is way better at
so-
cooking than playing footy.
So
He's a good chef, is he?
I was going to say so.
Oh yeah, he's literally Bulls
Oh,
cooking.
that'll rattle him. You don't like chefs.
I don't like I don't like
Petrarca.
Petrarca's TikTok
Yeah.
cooking.
Anyway, some more match insights. Obviously, the last meeting was a 60-point Lions win in the grand final. Do we think the Swans are going to be a bit scarred from that?
Yeah.
Quick thoughts?
I think so.
I think they might be a little bit rattled in that. Even if it's at the SCG, they'll be rattled.
Flashbacks.
Flashbacks for sure. The odds with Tab, of course, Sydney, $2.10. Very rare that they're the underdogs at the SCG. Brisbane, $1.74 head-to-head. I think those odds are about right. If this was at the Gabba, you'd heavily skew it towards Brisbane. My best bet of this game, though, I'm going to keep rolling this until he doesn't do it. Chad Warner, 2+ goals. It's gone down from $3.75 last week to $2.60 this week. We cashed in last week. He's just so attacking out of midfield, so 2+ goals I really like as the Tab best bet. All right, lads, finish off. Tips, margin, who are we tipping?
I think Brisbane get this done within 3 goals.
Okay,
I
I agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm about the same.
Yeah, I'll go 4 or 5 goals, Brisbane.
Oh, you reckon it's not going to be that close?
No, I think they got a better list. They got a better squad out there at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I wasn't impressed by Sydney last week,
There
but
we go.
let's see if they can bring it back out. The
Bounce
scars,
back.
the wounds might creep open a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, that was the grand final rematch. Let's get into the Saturday night. There's 2 Saturday night games in Melbourne, which is a little bit controversial, but the F1's on. They're trying to do the schedule around that. We've got Collingwood taking on Port Adelaide Saturday night, 7:35 at the MCG. I'll start with you this time, Marcus. You can do a bit of Collingwood for me, please. Who's the ins and outs?
Well, they were very, very poor last weekend against GBS.
Very bad.
Yes.
Very bad.
They are going to be bolstered by Dan Houston making his debut for the club. Lockie Sullivan also comes in out. Hoskin Elliott and Ed Allen.
Oh, Ed Allen's out, Stats Guy.
He was pretty good last week.
Oh, but I thought he was going to play every game. Just for context.
He's better than
Just
Lockie.
for context,
I
Stats
hate that
Guy
condescending thing.
all summer was
Hey,
going to me, Ed Allen, get him in your super
Let me just have a
coach.
look.
He's going to play every game.
He's got more heart
Hold on,
than
mate.
a lot of this team.
No, I get
Ed
stuff.
Allen.
Marcus, continue.
Well, I thought Membry played all right in his debut. I thought Dan McStay was a little bit poor. So
Membry, mate.
Membry
he
was
went
horrible.
missing.
He forgot how to play footy.
No, it was all right. He kicked,
Nah.
he kicked more goals than
He
Dan
needed to
McStay.
remember how to play football.
He kicked more goals than Dan McStay. So, and obviously, there's been rumours and concern about Nick Dacos recovering from your joint foot injury.
No, well, plantar fascia. Oh, that's what Alex
And then
has at the
also-
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, cramped up,
Cramp.
and he
think
cramped
also it was cramping.
cramped his way out the game. Not enough pickle juice could save that man.
No, Leo would never cramp. He has a lot of pickles
I can't remember the last time I cramped.
because you have a lot of pickles.
If Leo weed right now, it would taste like pickle juice.
Should we test it?
No, all right. Leo, Port Adelaide. So it's obviously
Let's bring
Dan,
it back on track.
Talking
Obviously-
about the colour green.
Yes, obviously Dan Houston is playing against his old side, so that's very exciting. All
Yeah.
Australian. Leo, ins and outs for Port or anything you want to talk about?
Well, there's no ins or outs, Stats Guy, because it's their first game.
Obviously,
Yeah,
yeah.
I got
All
you there.
What about
Nah,
debutants or things like
They've
that?
got Jack Lukosius and Joe Richards playing their first game for the club. And actually, Joe Richards came from Collingwood, so fun little...
Yeah, so it's
It's
the
the
Joe
Joe
Richards
Richards
Cup.
derby.
Richards Cup. And
Not
Dan
the-
Houston, not the Dan Houston Cup.
Nah.
Yeah.
Joe Berry making his debut as well. Port, this team, they got Finlayson listed at centre half back. They just look a bit short on mids. They got Horn, Francis, Rosie, but Powell Pepper's listed in there. Wines on the bench. I don't know. I feel like if Collingwood, the old legs of Collingwood, if they can quell Rosie and Horn Francis, they go a long way to winning this game.
I agree. Well, no, they're going to put Willem Drew in there for a bit. I really rate Willem, one of the best names in business. But yeah,
Willem
right.
Drew to Dacos.
Ooh, could be good.
Could be.
Yeah.
But like the tall forwards we just mentioned, Membry, McStay, and obviously Mychek,
Yeah.
against a very undermanned Port Adelaide because no Radigalia, no Zerk Thatcher, both injured.
Low-key, Finlayson could do better down back than Zerk Thatcher and
And those two,
Radigalia.
yeah, true.
Yep. No, good call.
But then Alir has to. He's not going to have the intercept role. That's going to be taken away from him. He's
Well,
going to have
they've
to play
got
along the tours.
Bergman who can intercept, I reckon.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a bit
Port-
makeshift, though.
Port have actually lost the last 4 meetings with the Pies as well.
Doesn't
And then
surprise
in the
me.
Dan Houston Cup, he's had 25 plus disposals in 7 of his last 8 matches at the MCG. And when you play for Collingwood, you get to play there every week. So he'll be loving it.
Nice.
They play there, 18 times a year pretty much?
Yeah.
I hate how much they play at the MCG. Anyway, getting into the odds with Tab now. Collingwood are $1.58 head-to-head. This one's really close. Port Adelaide, $2.40. The best bet in this one for me is I usually go a player pick, but we're going a little bit different. I'm pretty confident on Collingwood in this one, so I'm going a multi with Collingwood head-to-head and under 167.5 total points, which gets you to the odds of $3.10 with Tab. 9th and 10th on offense, these two teams last season. Collingwood struggled, only scoring 52 points last week, so I'm pretty happy on the under. And I don't believe in Port's offense that much. You've got to rely a bit too much on Georgiades. He's got to kick a lot of goals. So I'm going the under and Collingwood head-to-head, $3.10 there. All right, Are we finishing off with tips and margin, lads? Or any other thoughts?
No, not really.
Not really?
I will give thoughts with the tips and the margin.
No worries. What are you tipping, Liam?
Pies by under a goal. I think they've bounced back, but the heaviness in the legs will get to them, especially on a hot day too.
Very true. Actually, Dacos could cramp up again.
Cramp.
Yeah. Sub out.
Cramp costs.
Yeah. And apparently, actually, Josh Dacos is obviously playing.
Listen,
No, 'cause I was thinking about something else. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not worth a reaction, that one.
Exactly. Who are you tipping?
I'll go the Pies by 4 goals. I think they get the job done. I think Butters out, tall defensive, Radigalia, Zerk Thatcher out, and Collingwood have a pretty good record against them, I believe.
Yep. I'm going at Pies by 10 points. I think this is going to be really close. They actually match up pretty evenly, especially the Pies last week. They were horrible. They need to bounce back, and I reckon they'll get a win at the MCG. I don't know what ground I was saying. At the MCG. All right, the biggest game of the round, lads. My beloved North Melbourne. No, Western Bulldogs taking on North Melbourne Saturday night. I can't believe this is a Saturday night game.
Boring.
7:35 at the Great Marvel Stadium. Here we go, lads. Who wants to do the Western Bulldogs?
Well, this won't be on Channel 7.
No, definitely not. If Collingwood's playing at the same time. Who wants to do the team? Leo, you often talk about the Dogs. You can have a go.
Do I? Oh,
yeah.
okay, sure.
Yeah.
This Dogs team is, it's not great, I don't think.
No, they've got a lot of outs.
So their starting on ball trio is Sanders. Richards is good. Libber is good.
This guy
is good, but I don't know. There's just like a lot of middle of the road players there, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just come out and smash her. Like, it's just classic North, classic Dogs sort of thing to do, I think.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, either way.
Well, the Dogs have actually won the last 7 meetings by an average of 58 points.
Yeah, that does not surprise.
And that all started when Josh Bruce kicked 10, and I said to my mate, I wasn't drinking that day. I was like, if Josh Bruce kicks 10, we gotta go watch this game in the bar or do something else because that was the downfall.
Who doesn't have that record against North Melbourne, to be fair?
Lots of teams. Most teams don't have that record again. Dogs love playing us. And I'm hoping this is the changing the guard. Anything else there, Leo? So we've got Matt Kennedy making his debut.
Matt Kennedy making his debut. Sam Davidson and Josh Dolan, who were pretty impressive in the Pracky game against Hawthorn in the forward half.
Davidson looks awesome.
Really
yes, on a wing looks incredible. But a lot of big outs for this Dogs team. No Bont, no Jamara, no Liam Jones, no Chalor.
No Cody Waitman, who averages 3.5 goals against North.
Stats Guy, take us through the North team that will beat this, or has to beat this Dogs team. They have to win this game.
Well, we're not favourites. So.
You have to win this game of football.
I don't agree with have to beat them, but I think we can.
No, you have to.
You have to.
This is what I hate about North fans. Get the winning mentality through your club.
Wait, it doesn't matter.
You have to win this game of football. You need to win 7 games, and this is one of them.
Yes.
I'll say one thing. If I believe that we're going to win or not, does not affect the on-field performance.
It's about the mentality of the club. It's always, we're poor North Melbourne. We don't have to win this game. We're so poor. And then you lose by 11 points.
You're just a lucky Hawks fan.
You lose by 11 points, and you're like, oh, that's an honourable loss. That was actually pretty good, guys.
No, I don't believe that.
No, it isn't. Okay, continue. I'm angry. Sorry, we've taken up more than half the time. Sorry,
I want to talk about North. No, you've whatever. Anyway, you've done pretty well there. I don't mind when you get fired up. All right, the ins for North Melbourne. There's a lot of debutants. You've obviously got Caleb Daniel, Jack Darling, and Luke Parker coming over from other clubs. I'm really excited to see all of them because you got Caleb Daniel, who could be literally one of our best players off halfback. I think he's so good.
Yep.
His ball use is going to be invaluable. Then you've got Finn O'Sullivan. He looks so good in preseason. Foss. Everyone's calling him Foss. So you called me Foss before.
I call him Foss.
Yeah.
Short for Fossil.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, other reasons. But Foss looks really good for Supercoach. And then Jacob Constanti. Now, if you get
Parker.
Here we go.
talking about... Yeah, Luke Parker's there, yeah. Luke Parker's in. So Luke Parker's experience I'm very excited about. But the other Sydney man, Jacob Constanti, he had 3 touches in preseason. They're like, did he have the best? He must have the best 3 touches in the world ever. Because how do you get picked for that? I'm very annoyed with that pick because we actually have a few good small guys coming through. I think Hanson Jr. must be injured because he was dominant.
No, he's in the team.
Oh, he's in the team as well? Yeah, I don't know about that.
You know what they say, though? Constanti, can't stand him.
We can't stand him. There we go. Let's have a look at the tab odds for this Saturday night fixture. Bulldogs are $1.32. North Melbourne head-to-head are $3.40. That's been changing a lot in the market. A lot of people are jumping on North with all these outs for the Dogs and the fact that Larky's playing because a few people thought that he might be out. My best bet in this one is the man in the helmet. He dominated last year. I think he's going to be the best ruckman in the competition this year. Tristan Sherry, 20-plus disposals, and to kick a goal in this game is $3 with tab. He dominated Tim English last season with the stat line of 20-plus and a goal. I think he can do that again. and he had 20 plus disposals in 4 of his last 5 games. So jump on Tristan Cherry with tab. $3. I think that's really good odds. All right, lads, finish it off. We've talked enough about this game. What do you reckon for your tips?
I thought you were talking about Caleb Daniel when you were talking about the man in the helmet.
Best ruckman.
The best ruckman.
ruckman of all
Yeah,
time.
no, definitely not. What do you
Lining
reckon?
up on Aaron Norton at centre half back, according to you, the way you read the lineups.
Buddy Clarko playing cheeky buggers with the lineup there. What do you reckon for your tip?
Dogs just. I need to see it from North Melbourne first before I can back them in a tip.
Fair enough.
North have to win, but they're pathetic, so they won't.
Oh.
Dogs by 17 and North fans are so happy on Twitter.
Can
North have to win.
Yeah.
You have to win this game of
Doesn't
football.
mean they will win.
No,
they
but-
have to win. Doesn't mean they
The
will.
fact that you were going all in that we have to believe, why? You don't believe in us. No one believes in us.
Why would I believe in North? You're the North fan.
I don't believe
You're a fan.
Actually, I take that back. I'm tipping us by 1 single point. I'm going to have a heart attack at the game. It is going to be awesome. I'll be with the family because half my family's
I'm
dogs.
going to have a heart attack. It's going to be awesome.
It'll be awesome.
You say half of your family's dogs.
Go for the dogs.
They're dogs. You said half my family are dogs.
I said they go for the
explains a lot
dogs.
that they're dogs.
I said they go for
A lot
the
of
dogs.
inbreeding going on.
And then half of us go for North. What are you talking about? Anyway, I'm going North. We're going to win. I can't believe you didn't tip us. You said you were going to tip us. But anyway.
No, I didn't. I said you have to win the game.
Last week, I think you said that. Anyway, that's enough Sunday games before these two get cancelled over here. Sunday, here we go. Sunday, a massive blockbuster game between Adelaide and St Kilda.
Come on.
I'm not happy with this.
Why?
I'm not happy with the Adelaide team.
Oh, we'll talk about this, so you can do the Adelaide
Ooh.
team. Adelaide versus St Kilda, Sunday, 12:35 at the great Adelaide Oval. Hit me with the teams. Adelaide to start with, Marcus.
Well, obviously, there's a lot of fresh names as well for Adelaide. Isaac Cumming from GWS, Alex Neil-Bullen from Melbourne. You got the likes of James Peatling, Toby Murray, and Sid Draper on the extended bench. I've got a funny feeling Matthew Nix is going to, I don't know.
Put him as the sub.
Yeah.
Put him as the sub.
Him or Curtin.
I think it's,
Curtin's on the bench as well.
He must hate Dan Curtin.
yeah, it's a shame because I really like the look of Sid Draper so far. I think
Yeah.
he's going to be a gun this season.
Absolutely.
Top 5 rising star.
He only played him in a quarter, though, in the preseason game, which is a bit
Yeah.
weird, but maybe it was just conditioning or things like that. I don't know.
So probably for that reason, I think he's going to start as the sub in this one. But Miller is 100th.
Oh, there we go.
If Sid Draper and Toby Murray get on the park, it'll be their debuts.
There we go. I don't mind this Adelaide team. You got Peatling obviously on ball, which will be exciting. You got Rob Dog, who's coming off a hole-in-one. I don't know if you saw Riley O'Brien.
I did
He
not.
rocked up into their training facility with his golf clothes on. I love it. His vibe. He's always very funny.
Well, didn't he? He received the phone off Nick Nat, didn't he?
He did. He's been involved
Yeah.
in lots of random little funny
Random
things.
stuff,
He's a
yeah.
good guy, Riley O'Brien, I reckon. Not that I know him that well, but we'll catch up. We'll catch up a gather round. There we go.
Yeah.
St Kilda, Leo. There's a lot happening. You're the
All right.
only person in the world that believes in St Kilda.
Let me talk you through this winning team right
Don't know
here.
how.
This winning team.
Well, they have a lot of milestones and debutants.
They've got about 5 debutants, and you're saying they're going to win.
Jack McRae, 250th.
Oh, good
Yeah.
on. He's a
Congratulations,
great player.
Jack.
Great
Brings the
player.
average age up.
Zach Jones, 150, sure, whatever. Keeler could make his debut. Boyd could make his debut. Boxall could make his debut. Hall could make his
Oh my
debut.
God.
O'Connell could make his debut.
And that fills you with
And they're
confidence.
all going to be in the middle of the Gatorade shower after they beat Adelaide.
Oh,
This team's
sure.
cooking up something. You got Sinclair, you got Nash, you got Garcia.
Who's the
McRae,
most positive he's been about any team?
Steele. Yeah, what about North though?
I'm going to
Pretty
throw up
positive.
with this team.
No, it's a good
This is such
team.
a bad team.
They're going to shock the world.
It's possibly the worst. This is the worst team.
They got
to
Zane
come out.
Cordy at full back. They're going to win this game.
Yeah, I don't know about that team, St Kilda. I do love Nass. He's in my Supercoach team. Wangani
Yeah.
and Miller. Do you like anyone in this Saints team? I don't really like many.
Absolutely. He's
Who?
a fan of me, actually. He asked
Who?
me for a photo.
Who?
You would not believe this. Bradley Hill.
Why did he ask you
Wow.
for
Bradley
a
Hill.
photo?
Yeah, because
He saw you on the cricket today.
me and my mates were out at pub golf and our mascot was
Oh.
the little baby and we spray painted it blue. So it had a little baby, had his little tequila shot. We brought it into the bar, we snuck it in. He goes, "Is that your baby?" I said, "Yes, Bradley, it is my baby."
That is so random.
and he asked me, he goes, "Oh, we'll grab a photo with you later." Whilst we were both having a wee, he asked me that. I'm
There you
sorry.
go. That's bonding right there.
That is
That's beautiful.
true men bond at the urinal.
There we go. Talking about bogey teams before, Adelaide's bogey team is the Saints.
Told ya.
Adelaide, no, the other
did
way
say that.
around. Bogey team is the Saints. I'm saying the other way around. Adelaide
have a good record against St Kilda.
Yes.
No, you got to word that the other way.
I don't think so.
St Kilda's. Just continue.
Anyway, you could be right, actually. Anyway, Adelaide have beaten them 13 of the last 15 times, which is really surprising because Adelaide haven't even been that good probably in the last 15 times they've met. So that's a bit surprising. And the alarm's already gone off.
The alarm's
Jeez, we
already
are
gone
struggling
off.
here. I'm going to go into the odds with Tab now. Adelaide are $1.35. I think because it's at the Adelaide Oval. St Kilda, $3.25, which is the head-to-head markets there. My best bet of the game. A few people have been talking him up. Talked him up late last season. Mitch Hinge, 25 plus disposals at $2.25. Perfect for a multi as well. I think that can add a lot of value. He just gets a lot of run, carry, and can get a lot of the footy. So 25 plus disposals with Mitch Hinge. Really good on Tab. All right, we've already gone over the time. Let's just go tips on this one.
Crows by 37 points.
37?
Yep.
Saints by 4.
4 points.
Yes.
Jeez, Saints.
The fact that he has more faith in the Saints team than North Melbourne against the Dogs.
Yeah, what are you doing, mate?
What's up with that?
Yeah.
Saints made finals 2 years ago.
That is true. I'm going Crows by 12. They're going to break my heart again, but I reckon they'll win.
75% of them are making their debut, though.
Yeah, and they'll celebrate with a
They
win.
didn't play that well.
Anyway, we have gone way too long on Adelaide St Kilda. Bloody hell.
Yeah, I know.
All right. 2 games left. Melbourne taking on GWS on Sunday, 3:20 at the MCG. There's a lot of games at the G this weekend, I just realised. So let's go through the teams. Who wants to start? We'll start with Leo. He'll get us back on track. Melbourne.
Yes,
Go
that's
through
what
the
I'm known for doing.
Melbourne team, please, for ins and outs.
Melbourne, well, they've listed a lot of debutants themselves.
Oh, my
So
God.
Bailey Fritsch, 150th game, but they've included Harvey Langford, Xavier Lindsay, Matthew Jefferson, Aiden Johnson, and Jack Henderson, all listed for their debut. The last 2 are listed there are from Werribee.
I only know
Maybe
2 of
from-
those players. Wow. That's a
That's a
Did
bit
they? Because I'm
sad.
just
You don't know Bailey Fritsch?
Sorry, I meant the debutants.
Okay.
Obviously, Langford and Lindsay looked solid in preseason. The other guys, I'm not so
All
sure.
those
about.
players are on the extended bench.
Okay, and it's a Sunday game.
It is a Sunday game, so
Sunday game.
extra extended bench.
But yeah, this D's team, it's not too bad, you know. It's got the pillars there that they normally do, but it's just that we're going to say it every time we're talking about a Melbourne game. It's going to be the kicking inside 50 and actually kicking a winning score.
Yeah, their forward line is still pretty average. They're relying on Rue. Disco Turner, he can pop up,
Yeah, he could,
but he's not like the guy that you can rely on for 2 goals.
I still think they'll be better than last year. Like
Yeah.
Petrarca back and Oliver looks
Looking
like he's
fit.
back to his best.
Yep.
Just quickly, go through that 6 that they have. We'll go through the 5, not Viney, in their forward line. How many goals can they realistically kick?
Well,
this
Fridge
year?
can kick 3.
No, for the year. I think Fritsch gets 40. Van Ruin has to get 45. Turner's probably only getting 25.
Chandler
I
gets
feel
about
like
20.
Turner,
getting
Sparrow, and
25.
Chandler just got to average a goal a game.
Yeah, they probably won't.
That they won't. Yeah, you're right. There's not enough goals there, which we talk about all the time. What about the Giants side, Marcus?
Well, the Giants, they could have a couple of debutants. Oliver Hannaford, Cody Angove as well, but
Big in.
Briggsy. Yeah,
Oh,
he's out,
Briggsy's
obviously.
out. Yeah, that's
where the
There is a
collision
big
with
in, though.
Sam Taylor. There is a big in, though. I thought he was going to be out for a little bit longer, but he finds his
did I.
way back into the team. Tom Green, back from
Oh,
injury.
the beast.
That's going to be huge for their midfield. And look, we thought they were depleted last week. But, wow, they were incredible. Finn Callahan looks like a $20 million player now.
Oh, not just 17. I like
not
that.
just 17.
Yep.
So, look, the ins there for the Giants, Hannaford, Angove, Green, and Leek Alear. Obviously, a bit of an extended bench as well.
Nice. I might have to adjust my super coach. I brought in Finn Callahan, but he could
Callahan.
still get 100, I reckon, even with Green in the side. He's a very good player. The Giants have actually won the last 3 meetings with the Demons at the MCG. So that's really surprising. And they obviously, I think they had really good, they were really well coached, and then they executed the plan so well last week against the Pies. I don't even think they played like exceptionally. I think they just had a really good plan. I think they're going to have another good week here. Let's have a look at the odds with Tab. Head to head, Melbourne are $2, GWS are $1.80. I think that's really good odds for GWS, even just head to head. I thought they were going to be a lot shorter in this one, especially their dominant performance last week and their great record at the MCG, which I just mentioned. My best bet in this one, though, I know Tom Green's back in the side, but I'm still going to back it. Finn Callahan, 30-plus disposals at $3. If you're going to tag anyone in this side, I think Tom Green is the more taggable option. Finn Callahan, he's just in great form in preseason, great form in opening round. Even if Tom Green comes back in, they can just give little 1-2s to each other. 30-plus disposals, $3 with Tab, I'm really keen on. All right, lads, tips and margin to finish off on this one. What do we think?
I think Giants by 19.
Really, you normally side with the devil on this one, so
Yeah.
why don't you go
The
the Demons?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I think the Giants win this, and they win this sort of comfortably. I'm going to go 5-6 goals.
Ooh, I'm going Giants by 20. I'm going to touch on that in my big call, but they're all around that 3-goal mark. There's a lot of games like that. So 20 points. Melbourne didn't look too bad in preseason, and the Giants, they have a really good record at the MCG. All right. Last game, the Battle of the Coasters, lads. West Coast versus Gold Coast, Saturday, 6:10 at Optus Stadium. This actually, I reckon, could be a fun game. It's the last one as we're doing our Sunday wrap show, which will be very exciting on Sunday night. Leo will be on that one. We'll start with you, Marcus. Do you want to have a look at the West Coast team, ins and outs?
Yeah, obviously got the pair from Richmond, Liam Baker, Jack Graham, coming into this side to make the debuts. Matt Owies as well from Carlton. And then
Underrated pickup, I think.
You think?
I really rate Matt Owies. I know a lot of people don't. I really rate him.
Questionable.
He's
questionable.
good.
Well, we can see what he can do out on the West Coast.
Yep.
Archer Reed could be in line for a debut. Probably not though.
He's in the lineup.
Oh, is he? I thought he was on the extended
considering him
bench.
for Supercoach because he's forward ruck dual position.
That's a good shout, actually.
There we go.
So a lot of fresh faces for West Coast, and look, they're just still going to be there, gaining experience, get more games under the belt for the likes of Harley Reid. See if Jake Waterman can repeat his heroics from last season, and it's a little bit different in the back line as well, obviously with no Tom Barras. So
yeah, nice.
West Coast will be. Oh God, West Coast. Keep an eye on West Coast. They will be. Good to watch.
No, actually, they have some fun play. Like you're saying, they've got like, even McGovern, he was really good last season, even though he's getting older. They've got a lot of good players, but just not the depth, I don't think. A lot of their depth players aren't there. But always Graham and Baker at least add to that depth. So they'll be a little bit better, I reckon. What do you think for the Suns, Leo? Ins and outs as well?
Talked about a Richmond pair. Well, wait, no, it's only Rioli. I thought Noble played for Richmond for some reason.
Pair.
Yeah, half-back pair. Noble and Rioli will be making their debut off half-back.
Superstar Johnny Noble.
It's actually not a bad back line. You look at it. It's very well balanced. You've got Collins and Ballard, the key pillars. Uland is a lockdown. Powell intercept, and Noble and Rioli just run for days. So
we've said this a lot, though. The Gold Coast team on paper.
Expectation for Gold Coast?
I just said their back line on paper.
But I think their whole team looks really good on paper, but they're just... Yeah. They just never... actually, they've got some random players here.
Took Miller at centre forward. You'd like that little...
I think
what? He's their best midfielder.
No, I think it's similar, though, to Melbourne. Like, you look at that forward six.
Yeah, that's not great.
Goals-wise, is there enough there?
Lacking,
Will Graham, Took, Ben Ainsworth, Jake Rogers, Ben King, and Ethan Reid.
Yeah, he's a ruckman.
Big guy. They're not kicking that many goals. Jake the Snake, Jake Rogers... I don't mind him. He had a couple of games where he kicked 3+ last year. If he can find some consistency, then
did he?
I think he kicked. It was probably against North.
I think of Jake Waterman.
No. I'm thinking of Jake Rogers. I think it was against North. That's probably why I remember it. So that's the teams. Gold Coast have won the 4 of the last 5 meetings. The loss that they had was last year where they couldn't win away. They were obviously 2-9 away. So that's the big worry. And do Gold Coast, I just wanted to put this to you guys, do Gold Coast need to smash them to prove that they're any good? Like, will they get a bit of confidence if they win this like 30+?
I don't think they need to smash them. It's away from home. They
just
need
to
to
get
make
a
sure
win?
they win this game.
No, fair enough. The head-to-head odds with Tab, West Coast are at $2.55. This is pretty close, actually. Gold Coast, $1.52. I've got a weird bet here for my best bet. I'm combining both teams in this one. I think Gold Coast will get the job done, but I believe it's going to be a close game. So I'm going Gold Coast head-to-head and West Coast plus 16.5 for a multi of $4.90. So I think they're going to keep this under 3 goals, West Coast, but I don't think they're going to get the job done. The Suns are a much more experienced team. They've got the stars and things like that. So $4.90, I don't mind that as my best bet.
Do you, though? Do you think that's going to happen?
Yeah.
Because you've backed Gold Coast by 20 points.
I was going to change that. I haven't changed that since I did my...
He was going to change it.
Anyway, tips and margin, I'm going Gold Coast by
15.
12 points. I think it's going to be 2 goals. I think genuinely West Coast, the more I think about West Coast, they weren't even that bad last season at all. I think they got...
They finished 16th.
Yeah,
so
no, but they got a lot more wins
5
than
wins,
the bottom 2.
6 wins?
6 wins, I think. So they weren't too bad. They can keep this close over in the West. And 12 points. And that helps my bet as well.
I agree. Like they're a different team at Optus Stadium. They're a lot tougher to play.
Yep.
I still think Gold Coast get the job done.
Not a smashing though.
No, I'll probably go 20 points.
Yep.
Suns by under a goal.
Under a goal. So
nail biter.
There we go.
Yep.
That helps my pick too. Before we get into the last part of the show, let's get into a quick break with our sponsors at Tab.
Tonight's game's going to be epic.
Missed by 1 on the AFL? With Tab, you can stay in the game. Miss by 1 on any disposals leg, and Tab will still pay you out as a winner. Tab, we're on.
Imagine what you could be buying instead.
Big calls for round 1, lads. This is my favourite part of the show. I'll start with you, Marcus. What is your big call for round 1 of the AFL season?
Well, you have to start with me because I'm claiming the big call from last week as a tick, even though the boss said Nick Dacos would get injured. I'm
didn't
still
get-
I'm counting
He's
that as a
playing
out
this week.
Yeah, but he got injured out of the game.
yeah.
Sort of.
No, I'm the ruler of big calls, and I will say that's a tick. Because we're not going to have many ticks on the
Yes.
big calls, so we're all out.
Except for this one, I'm going 2-0. I'm going to go Nick Watson, Jack Ginnivan, Isaac Kako to combine for 10 plus goals on Friday
Yeah,
night.
Oh,
love
that is a very big
Kako
call.
will kick 4. Watson will
Forward.
kick 3. Guinea will kick 2. So no.
No, but
I think the small forwards are going to play a big part.
I don't
in my
know
big
if that's
call.
going to happen, but it's a big call.
It's a big call for a reason.
No,
Stats
I would
guy.
love to see that happen because I love watching small forwards.
Fine,
kick snags.
what's your big call then?
No, well, I was going to go to Leo next, but I'm happy to do my one. My one is not as exciting, but Leo.
He didn't get the segue.
Whoop.
Sorry about that. All games this Friday onwards are going to be below a 20-point margin. I don't
That
think
is
there's
a
going to be
huge call.
any smashings, and I genuinely think this could be one of the closest rounds in history if you take out Carlton Richmond, because that could be a smashing.
I'm
obviously.
so excited for Dogs to beat North by 21 points.
Well, that would be wild. But genuinely, I think this could be really close. A lot of games are going to be decided by 3 goals. I'm just looking at all of the games. They're all just seem really close matchups. So all the games,
All the
games, but Friday onwards,
All of the
the
lights,
games.
all of the games.
are all going to be under
all
20
the
points.
games. You've tipped Hawthorn by 25.
No, but that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. It's going to be 15. All right, Leo, your big call for the weekend,
actually
please.
shambles.
Mate, the contradictions you do.
No
He's
one-
the host, by the way.
No one that was watching this show would have even realised that. So why did you say that? You threw me under. He's the bus, just thrown under as usual. What is
Okay,
your big
my
call?
big call? I think Jerry and English have a huge night on Saturday night.
All right.
I think they're going to combine for 50 plus disposals and 2 goals. I think Jerry's going to be the All-Australian ruck this year. I think English is going to bounce back and have a huge season. And I think it's going to be one of those games where the game itself might not be great, but you just want to sit there and watch the rucks.
Watch the ruck. There's very.
You
yes,
never really say, do you?
That's true. And I think English, he was injured for like the first half of last year. That's why Cherry did tally him up. Cherry, I still think, is the better player.
Yeah.
But they could easily do that. 50 plus disposals, 2 goals. I love that. That'd be really fun. Lastly, before we finish off, keep an eye on, lads. What do you keep an eye on this weekend for round 1? We'll go with you, Leo, to start with.
Player fitness. I just want to see how these teams sort of cope
In the heat?
in the
Particularly
heat.
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. And just like off a preseason. I remember last year, the Hawks Essendon game, which was Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Saturday. It wasn't like crazy hot, but it was hot.
It was warm. Yeah.
And we were cramping the whole last quarter. We could not keep up with Essendon.
No, you're right.
They
Yeah.
were fitter than us. They had a better preseason. I just want to see that in a few games where the teams can sort of keep the run in the legs, especially on Saturday.
Yeah, no, I like that. Marcus, what are you keeping an eye on?
Mainly the way that Collingwood bounced back.
Yes.
There was a lot of talk about them, or even myself, thinking they're probably the team that can go all the way this season.
Yep.
But to be fair, they did face another team that I think will be right up there with them. But still, that performance wasn't good enough. And I think they have to bounce back. And obviously, Dan Houston debut as well.
That helps them, yeah.
In Adelaide. No, it's home. It's here. Isn't it?
Against Port
The
Adelaide, against his old team.
Against Port Adelaide, though, should be fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on. Most of my keeping an eye on is going to involve Supercoach. I'm keeping an eye on Finn Callahan now because I've got him in my Supercoach team because Tom Green was out.
Is it because he's good looking?
Oh, he's very good looking. You
He's
can
good
always
looking.
keep an eye on Finn Callahan. But I'm just excited to see if he can have that sort of impact with Tom Green in the team. I think he can, so I'm going to keep him in my Supercoach team. But just keeping an eye on because if he, I don't know, only has 20 touches, that's a little bit of a worry for Supercoach. Not for the Giants because you want Tom Green back in your team, but just in terms of Supercoach, I'm going to keep an eye on that.
Interesting.
All right. That will do us for the AFL Today Show for the Thursday night preview. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe to AFL Today on YouTube. We're almost at the goal of 4K, and then we're going to be above. Actually, are we at 4K?
Do you want to know exactly what we're on?
That's what I was going to ask you.
3,996.
Oh.
So when we started recording this, we've gained 3 subscribers.
Beautiful. So we're almost
We're
at
huge.
4K. I reckon over the next couple of weeks, we're going to aim for 4.5K. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and start all the shows on your podcast app. All of our other shows as well are still going on. We've got the Cricket Today Show, just wrapped up the Champions Trophy. Might do a bit of IPL. You guys love a bit of IPL?
Yeah, I reckon.
Then we're going to do AFLW today later in the season. Right now, there's also Hold All Tickets, True Bloods, Honest Beers. There's a lot going on in this studio and a lot of shows to get around. Thank you very much to Joe behind the camera for just all this shambles that we've done. Thank you very much to Leo.
Shout out Gerald.
Shout out Joe.
Shout out
Good
Joe.
call. And thank you very much, Marcus.
Thanks, Herb.
Well, Herb, I don't know about that one. And thank you to our sponsors, Tab, with their AFL Missed by One. If your disposals leg misses by one, Tab will still pay you out as a winner. Download the Tab app today. What are you really gambling with? See you Sunday to wrap up all things round 1. That's another episode of AFL Today done. We're out.
Tonight's game's going to be epic.
Missed by one on the AFL? With Tab, you can stay in the game. Miss by one on any disposals leg, and Tab will still pay you out as a winner. Tab, we're on.
Imagine what you could be buying instead.